apologized to me and said, no, you were right. Then I ran into another engineer who was one of the last ones, and he said, no, I'm being trained now for the next year. I'm training my final replacements, and I knew years ago this is what was happening, but it's just sad because Henry Ford would pay people enough so they could buy the product. We're going to talk about that with Jesse Ventura next hour. He wants to get into it. But now they don't want there to be an economy. So this is designed to make you powerless, so you accept the virtual reality. So you accept the free drugs the government's going to give out. So you just accept the whole drug culture, the whole collapse culture, the whole humans are ugly culture. Humans are junk. Humans are over. Humans are yesterday's dish. The news, super trendy, will merge with the computers. Well, Gruber now admits Obama was in room when Cadillac tax lie was created. What Jonathan Gruber is taking heat for now was planned out specifically with Barack Obama. Do you understand? He was one of the main architects of 14 people in these boardrooms. Okay? And he has such disdain for you. He thinks you're so pathetic that even when he brags on TV, that you will accept him rubbing it in. Let's play a compilation from the first video to the second video, the third video, to the newest fourth video that Gruber was in the room with our... Because Democrats are saying, our Lord and Savior wanted to cheat us? To the Wall Street Journal, this Democrat's giving up on Obamacare. Giving up on it. You mean you're a rat leaving the sinking ship? Most of you high-level Democrats knew what this was. You kind of like social engineering. You kind of like, we're screwing people over? That's kind of sexy. Let's go ahead and go to the tape.
Lack of transparency is a huge political advantage.
How in the world can this be HIPAA compliant? Which HIPAA is designed to protect the patient's privacy, and this explicitly says in order to continue, you have to accept this condition that you have no privacy or no reasonable expectation of privacy.
3 different people were given access to her account, her address, and her Social Security number.
And John Kerry said, no, we're going to tax your health insurance. We're going to tax those evil insurance companies. We're going to impose a tax that if they sell health insurance that's too expensive, we're going to tax them. And conveniently, the tax rate will happen to be the marginal tax rate under the income tax code. So basically, it's the same thing. We just tax the insurance companies. They pass it on higher prices. That offsets the tax break we get. It ends up being the same thing. So a very clever, basically exploitation of the lack of economic understanding of the American voter.
Well, first off, the bill has 10 years of tax increases, about $500 billion, with 10 years of Medicare cuts, about $500 billion, to pay for 6 years of spending.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period.
But for the average person, many of folks who don't have health insurance initially, they're going to have to make some choices, and they might end up having to switch doctors, in part because they're saving money.
The Supreme Court is going to take that case, and the question is, are they going to stick to the way it was written, or are they going to rewrite it?
That the interesting thing about the bill, all 2,000 pages of it, it's a gigantic blank check.
Their insurance is stronger, better, more secure than it was before.
Premiums go up. Employers not going to want to pay those premiums. They're going to pass on as much as possible to the employee.
We said, well, that's pretty much the same thing. But why does it matter? I said, you'll see. And they were both in that passed. Because the American voter is too stupid to understand the difference. Because the American voter is too stupid to understand the difference. It's real cost control that we know it'll work. Go after this. Now, the problem is it's a political nightmare. And people say, no, you can't tax my benefits. It feels like. So what we did a lot in that room was think about, how could we make this work? And Obama was like, he's really a realistic guy. He's like, look, I can't just do this. He said, it's just not going to happen politically. The bill will not pass. How do we manage to get there through phase-ins and other things? And we talked about it. And he was just very interested in that topic. And once again, that ultimately became the genesis of what's called the Cadillac tax in the healthcare bill, which I think is one of the most important and bravest parts of the healthcare law, and doesn't get nearly enough credit. Lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass.
Now, you notice that he's bragging that he helped with Obama come up with a plan to put it in phases so it's after the election. Just keep saying your premiums aren't going up. And just keep saying that they love you and you're racist if you don't agree with them. and to deceive people. Obama said, I can't do this politically, double and triple people's prices. How do we lie? And so Gruber's bragging he helped come up with the horse crap to shovel at everyone. But we don't need Gruber to tell us. We know there are death panels. The prices are going up. They're bringing in tens of millions of illegals to give them free health care while denying it to veterans because it's meant to bankrupt the country. And I think Gruber probably knows the whole game plan. He's only telling you to his students why we lie, why we deceive, because it's for a greater good. No, Gruber, it's foreign insurance companies that wrote it. They get half the money, basically, and government gets the other half. And as he said, it's a whole new income tax. What do you think it is when they've shut down 400 power plants his first 4 years, the last two another 300 or so? They're set to shut down 1,000 more in his last 2 years. Look it up. Just type in Obama. EPA set to close 1,000 plants. Folks, that's like half of what's left. I mean, people go, I don't care, I don't own a power plant. You buy electricity from it, bozo. And I'm not talking to our regular listeners. I'm talking to folks that send me emails. Why do I care? There it is, EPA plan to curb new coal-fired power plants. Shut down or not allowed to open 1,000. Oh, it makes me... And remember Obama said, if you want to build a coal plant, that's fine. We will bankrupt you. So, and they can argue, well, we were over-consuming, we're hurting the earth. It's not even about that, though. It's about screwing everyone over. They're moving our jobs to China where they open multiple coal power plants, get this, a week. And we're having them shut down every week. So see, if it's one Earth, they have totally dirty, no scrubbers on the smokestacks, pure mercury garbage goes out. What comes out of ours in the last 20 years? Nothing but water vapor. They have sensors on them with carbon dioxide. And I obsess over this because I own zero coal stock. My family has a few gas wells that competes directly with coal. Clean burning natural gas. And coal is actually what keeps natural gas prices down in competition. And so the gas industry and the Saudi Arabians have been dumping billions into shutting down coal. In fact, that's mainly who's behind it. Look it up. So, see, if I thought like the average scumbag corporate guy, I'd go, first I would imagine that I was like some gas baron. And then I would go, yeah, good, yeah. I mean, I would go to gas council, you know, meetings and, you know, hang out in the foyer like I was part of it and come scurrying in and lobby, you know, yeah, let's shut down coal. Yeah, let's have the most good clean energy we can have. And coal's one of the best. And natural gas is great as well. Great to run your cars on it. I don't see the infrastructure being put in. And all you people that shake your finger at me when you pull up at the front, you know, front parking and you get out of your electric car and you go plug it in, they've done studies, you can look them up, that they use as much or more, some studies a little bit less, but generally it's about as much. There's almost no difference is the point, depending on which way you go with which study. It's just that they're almost the same. Of the amount of carbon created on an electric car versus gasoline car. I'm sorry I'm scientific. I'm sorry I'm informed. If you come out with electric cars that are great and are cheaper and work good, I'll buy one. I'm not against your electric car. I got solar panels. I got a well, a shotgun rifle, and a four-wheel drive. And a cattle ranch to boot. I'm self-sufficient. My family does. The point is that it's all a giant fraud, and he should be impeached for the fraud. I mean, if they brought in these witnesses and brought in Gruber, who's in the room with Obama, coming up with the lies. Gruber says he helped Obama come up with the lies. That's really what that video says. Gruber confesses to creating lies with Obama. The video's going up on Infowars.com. It's sensational. Because they know people are ignorant and don't go look into this. So they're like, is Alex telling the truth or is Gruber? Who has the nicest tie? Who looks the most official? Well, Alex doesn't look as official. So I'm going to go with Gruber. You know, I love Obama. But see, when Gruber comes out and says, you stupid idiot, you schmuck, you sucker, I conned you, you idiot. The Democrats are going, what? I did notice I know maids and people I know a bunch of folks who make like $20 an hour, and they've got insurance, and they live humbly, but they live pretty good, go on a few vacations, got a decent car, can give them some money to, you know, just humble, frugal people, and they cry now on they can't get insurance. And they were happy. They had jobs. They could live. They could, you know, they can't. School teachers that are making even 50, 60 grand a year are being kicked off. They're now telling teachers you're going to be substitute now, or you're going to be part-time all over the country. And they're going to their union saying, you're Democrats. You're supposed to protect. They're like, sorry, honey. All these Barton Spring Democrats came up to me when it went in last year. Back then, I was going there almost every day and swimming. I haven't had time in the last year to go, but maybe 15, 20 times. So I used to go almost every day and swim up to 2 miles. And these liberals all ran up to me, not just the lifeguards, but liberal Austinites just went, listen, I know you're a good guy, not like a right-wing extremist or anything, but, you know, I'm going to get guns now. I agree with you. And my God, and I'm like, why? They're like, oh, I just got put to part-time, and I had, no exaggeration, probably 10 lifeguards in one day come up during a busy summer day. And the manager and all of them, they go, you're right. They're cutting us all to part-time now. 20 hours so that they don't have to pay for Obamacare. And I went, I know, it's meant to bankrupt the country. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's a year-round pool. In the summer, they got like 15, 20 lifeguards. During the winter, only 5 or 6. But I tried to help you, and not because I'm a hero. I don't want to be screwed either. I read the bill. I looked at the subsections. We told you the truth. We didn't want you to get conned. We're not like that. We don't sit around behind the scenes going, we sit around behind the scenes going, how can we really tell the truth? How can we be hardcore? You know, this is dangerous, what we're about to say, but we got to do it. We take risks to tell you the truth. By the way, the best sales pitch out there is to say you're selling out of something. It's the Christmas toy scenario where the company will go out with a newscaster and say, they've sold out. There's people fighting over the turbo toy or whatever. They made movies about it, fictitious movies about real events. We really are selling out of Secret 12, this proprietary, most powerful form of vitamin B12 out there, bar none. It's the same type you inject, basically, and you're able to absorb it. It's vegan-based, much more absorbable than any other sublingual, you know, taken in the mouth, under the tongue thing out there. And we've never had something sell like this. We had a limited run of it. It will sell out, I would guess, by Monday morning. We're fighting to get more in, so it'll probably just be sold out for a few weeks. But if you want your Secret 12 that you've seen me take in the last 4 months on air, but I couldn't tell you what it was, it's available discounted at InfoWarsLife.com. We still have the special promo code NOW, 5% off all your purchases, even the products that are already discounted. We are going to sell out probably by next week of Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine because of the 10% off we have on that right now. In the Biodefense Pack, we're still keeping the sales going even though it's selling out. DNA Force is going to sell out the next week or so. We're still keeping the specials on that even though it's going quickly. All of this obviously helps your body's natural defenses, is essential in this cold weather. But vitamin B12, Super Male Vitality, OcuPower, after being gone for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, is back. Powerful eye formula, nerve formula, period. Or 888-253-3139. Can answer all your questions, tell you about the specials. 888-253-3139. Or InfoWarsLife.com. Find the big store at InfoWarsStore.com. Stay with us, second hour coming up.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3139.